We are coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Alexa Ramirez, Avisaíl Garcia and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson, as we get set to bring you the first of this 3-game weekend set and the third of this 5-game road trip. As we started off 2 in Minnesota, we won the first one there. They won the second one. We had an off day yesterday. Chris Sale on the bump for us tonight, and everywhere except this ballpark here on the road, he has been terrific.
Been almost unbeatable for the last 2.5 months on the road, but when you look at what he's done overall, you realize that this is one of the best pitchers in baseball. There's no doubt about it. He's 11-3 overall with an ERA of down close to 2. And he's pitching against an Indians team that's fighting for their lives in the wild card race. Chris's changeup has been great, as has the slider, and his fastball has been 95 and up. So you see on the road at 3-0, the ERA 140. And obviously the last 2.5 months he's given up 1 earned run. That's it. But career-wise against the Tribe here in Cleveland, 1-2 with a 5.32 ERA. So hopefully Chris can get the job done tonight. I think he will.
Well, he's facing one guy, of course, Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana. Santana's hit him very hard, as is Ryan Rayburn. But Lonnie Chisenhall seems to have figured it out.
I don't think Lonnie Chisenhall would have played except for Mike Aviles being somewhat disabled. So Chisenhall is in the lineup, and what a year he's had offensively. This guy's hit high fastballs out of the park, and he's hit them against some pretty good pitchers. He also seems to have come of age. He's a former #1 draft pick who never really did much before this season, but they gave him the opportunity this year again, and he's made the most of it. Take a look at these numbers. In September, hitting .313. Against left-hand pitchers, he's killed them. In the last 10, he's as hot as anybody in baseball, and against our Sox, .387 with a couple of doubles and a home run. That being said, Chris Sale is very difficult to deal with. Chisenhall is 1-7 lifetime, and hopefully Lonnie stays quiet tonight.
All right, this is our last trip for 2014 into Cleveland, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
To you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T U-verse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to Progressive Field, and this is how Robin's going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off with Alexi Ramirez in the 2 spot, then Jose Abreu the DH, and it's Garcia, Viciedo, and Simeon in the middle with Taylor, Flowers, and Sanchez rounding it out. And let's take a look at the defense, and out they'll line up behind T.J. House. Brantley, Holt, and Rayburn in the outfield with Chisenhall, Ramirez, Walters, and Santana in the infield. Roberto Perez behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is T.J. House. Soft-tossing left-hander on for his 15th start. He's 2-2, his ERA just under 4. Doesn't strike out a whole lot of people, doesn't walk many either, and right-handers have really hurt him. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball. And the first pitch of the game to Adam Eaton is taken for a strike. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Adam comes in hitting at .310, a homer. He's driven in 34. 24-year-old southpaw out of Slidell, Louisiana. T.J. House. T.J. stands for Tiger Jr. His dad's nickname was Tiger. Checks it up and takes a strike. Sox come in with a .257 team average and a 4.42 team ERA. Sox 29-40 on the road. And this is the 17th meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 16, our Sox have won 9 of them.
The Tribe has been pretty tough at home. They're 40-28. However, they just played a critical series against the Tigers. They lost 3 of 4 right here.
And the 2-2. There's a chopper. Ramirez got to hurry. He does. Nice play by the 21-year-old shortstop.
The umpires for the game tonight: Clint Fagan behind the plate, Tim Timmons is at first, the crew chief Tim Wilkie is at second, and Todd Tishner is at third.
So here's Alexei. Alexei hitting at .281, 13 homers and 64 knocked in. He's had good success against House. 6 at-bats, 4 hits, one of which went out of the ballpark. And here at Progressive Field, 325 down the lines, 370 in left center, 375 in right center, and 400 straightaway center. There he checks it up. Fouls it off in the count 1-1. That ball hit hard. And Tyler Holt is there on the track to make the catch. So that's a hang Wolfham for Alexei.
And unfortunately, that ball hung up. And Tyler Holt, who's played just about everywhere, runs it down.
And that'll bring up Abreu. Jose at .322, 33 homers and 99 driven in.
This one pencils out to be not a particularly good defensive game, as the Indians last in the league with 107 errors. That's one of the reasons why they come in 6 games back, fading hopes in the wild card, but there's still hope for them, although not much.
There's a changeup. Jose has faced House one time, has 1 hit. Count 3-0.
So the 3-0 green light is there. See if he gets in the zone. That ball wasn't in the zone, but got the benefit of the call.
And there's a base hit in the hole between first and second.
That's a 14-game hitting streak. And he's kept it alive by doing this. Inside-out swing. With Walter playing him up the middle, that's a huge gap on the right side for the big man to hit it through.
So here's Avi Garcia at 247, 4 homers and 16 knocked in. Tyler Holt deep out there in center. Starts him off with a changeup. Another one. And the count 0-2.
That was a very good backdoor breaking ball by House, who's got to be letter perfect with his control.
And that fastball at 90.
House, the last time out, was brilliant against Kansas City. Went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits and just 1 earned run.
Got him, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. It was a hit, 1 left. After happening in play, it's our guys, nothing, and their guys coming to bat.
Tonight's game, it's going to be Holt, Ramirez, and Brantley at the top, and Michael Brantley has been red hot. Then Santana, Gomes, and Rayburn in the middle. Ryan Rayburn back off the disabled list, with Chisenhall, Walters, and Perez rounding it out. Defense, and out they'll line up behind Chris Sale. Taylor, Eaton, and Garcia in the outfield, with Semien, Ramirez, Sanchez, and Viciedo in the infield. Tyler Flowers behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Chris Sale. He's looking for win number 12, and this is his 23rd start. 178 strikeouts and 149 innings. He's been brilliant this year. And left-handers, well, they're hitting 150.
So here's the center fielder, Tyler Holt. There are his numbers, 275, no homers, 2 knocked in. This is the first time he has ever let off a ball game. And he takes first pitch strike. That fastball at 94. Indians come in hitting at 254 as a club with a 3.64 ERA. 40 and 28 here at home. 32 and 39 on the road.
what wind there is tonight, and it's not a stiff breeze, but it is a factor. It's blowing out toward right center field, so it's going to carry the ball out that way.
That's going to be a souvenir right side. Tried to whistle that one by him at 95. Tyler out, Florida State.
He'd have dropped that slider over the plate, he'd have got him. But it dipped low and in. And the best thing was it didn't hit him, as it came awfully close.
That's in the mezzanine for another souvenir.
Already been a good at bat. It's the 8th pitch coming, and as you see, earned run average. Sale leading King Felix. And Danny Duffy, John Lester, and the Indians, Corey Kluber.
And he bounces that one by the Seattle.
It's a battling at bat, and it's won by Tyler Holt. Just able to ease it by Viciedo at first base.
That'll bring up the 21-year-old switch hitting shortstop Jose Ramirez, hitting at 250 with a homer. And he's knocked in 10 since being called up. And he takes first pitch strike.
The switch hitter, unlike most, has been better from the right side this year. 31 points better. But his lone home run came as a left-hand hitter.
All right, take your time. Rack him up. Nice. By Simeon, that ball was scalded. 2 down. 148th double play turn by the Sox.
Third double play grounded into by Ramirez, who's got pretty decent speed. But with a one-hop rocket, turned out to be an easy 2.
That'll bring up Brantley, hitting at 312, 18 homers, and 87 knocked in. And he takes first pitch strike. Close pitch, didn't get it. Indians lost a tough one yesterday, extra innings. They got beat by Detroit 11-4.
There was 2 games in that series where it could have swung the Indians' way, and they would have had a lot of momentum and closed the gap. Leading 2-1 in the 9th inning when J.D. Martinez hit a 3-run homer. Tigers won that one. And taking the game into extra innings only to lose it by seeing a 7 spot go up on the board. Takes a lot of starch out of the ball club when that happens.
That's the reason I always pull for the team that we're going to be playing to lose before we get there.
They lost 3 of 4. And that probably, if there was a definitive death knell, it will have been that series. In a game of streaks, you don't want them on a 3-4 game winning streak before you come to town.
And there's a line shot base hit into left field by Brantley.
There you look at the standings with Oakland on top. The Tigers would qualify for the wild card, but the Mariners only a half game back. Yankees, Blue Jays, and the Tribe at 5 back. Barring something disastrous to all of those teams in front of them, they're going to be one of the teams that goes home.
So here's Santana. He has hit Chris well. 24 at bats, 9 hits, all of them which stayed in the park. There he takes first pitch strike. Santana hitting at .228 on the season with 24 homers and 70 knocked in.
Santana, a much better hitter from the right side. He's got almost equal power if you pencil out the at-bats.
One and two the count. Santana, the only player with 90 or more walks in each of the last 4 years.
.98 this year. That's a lot of walks, even with 112 strikeouts.
Brantley, change up. So a stolen base and an error.
Brantley swiped his 18th. And unfortunately, this ball gets away. And Tyler with his 7th error of the year.
That is 18 out of 19. There's a sweeping breaking pitch. Stolen base in the error, and they lead at 1-0.
RBI number 71. And if not for that double play off the bat of Ramirez, this could have been a very tough inning. That's a fastball, and it's up, and that's in the inner portion of the plate. He tried to get it further in. Santana didn't allow him to.
Now Santana's got to have not a real good approach at the plate. He does a lot of good things up there physically.
I was going to say, with all of his talent, and he's hitting in the 220s.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good things going for him physically. A lot of hang time. A lot of guys just cannot create hang time. They can't do it. They can't make themselves do it. And they know, they've heard it all their careers, that it's the right thing to do, yet they still can't do it.
You're talking about a fairly substantial leg kick.
Yeah.
So if you do that, do guys ever get confused as far as when the foot should hit the ground as opposed to when the ball is coming?
Well, the faster that foot hits the ground, the faster you commit it. That'll explain it right there. The faster you commit.
So you want to hang it as long as you can?
No question. You want to get as much hang time as you possibly can. As Gomes can't get it.
Yan Gomes has been wonderful this year. He's their #1 catcher. He was out on that 7-day concussion list with back, and it's been a big year. Since he's come off the DL, he's tearing it up.
Let's watch the base hit by Santana. Watch his leg kick here. All that's hang time. Now, the one thing you have to do when you're going to have a leg kick, especially like that is you got to hit off the fastball. You got to be looking for the fastball. You cannot think about anything else. Now, because you've created hang time, if you see it's an off-speed pitch, then you got a better chance of hitting it. He gone, but they come up with a run on 3 hits, 1 error, and they lead it 1-0. Piciedos, Simeon, Taylor for us here in the top of the 2nd inning. 1-0 Indians. Tank comes in. 237, 19 homers, and 54 driven in.
Well, they used to call it the salary drive, not so much anymore with long-term contracts, but Viciedo with 3 home runs in his last 4 games. And they haven't been cheapies.
That's that in the center field, right at it. That's the hang woofing. So with 1 out here in the top of the 2nd, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and recruit, well, they went with Sanchez. Steve's going with Tyler Flowers. Terry Hanley, been under the weather the last few days. Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Eric Aldrich, Roger Clare, and I. We're going to go with Tank. Marcus at 218, 3 homers, and 18 driven in.
Very good straight change by House. This fastball tops out at 92. That changeup with a good motion was at 82.
And there's a shot base hit. Get by him. Nope. Nice play by Ryan Rayburn to hold him to a single.
Since Marcus has come back, he's hit the ball very well. In fact, he doesn't have a whole lot to show for it, but he's hit a lot of line drives. And this one looked like it was going to be a 2 or 3 base hit, but for the play by Rayburn.
That'll bring up Michael Taylor. In minor leagues this year, hit 275, 11 homers, and drove in 69. Takes first pitch strike. Big man, 6'5", 256 pounds. Out of Stanford. The college and out of high school from Apopka right outside of Orlando. All gets away, so Marcus will Cruz on in to second.
Perez couldn't corral it. We'll have to wait for the official score decision. It is ruled a pass ball.
Now they're going to go to third and get it. So not a good running play at all. 2 down.
We've seen this happen to a whole lot of our base runners, both rookie and veteran base runners. That ball's hit in front of you, you just can't go, because an alert shortstop is going to cut you down every time.
Too often. So here's Flowers. Kyler at 240, 12 homers, 45 driven in.
Moves in baseball are starting to happen. And Ron Washington, skipper who took the Rangers to 2 World Series only to come up short, resigned his post. Said to handle a personal matter and nobody is discussing it. But John Daniels said it has nothing to do with what happened in the past. And he had some problems. The organization backed him up. But we wish him well. He was a great guy, wonderful to work with. I know they loved him with the Rangers. We also had Kevin Towers, the general manager of the Diamondbacks, fired. Of course, Tony La Russa went down there to reshape the organization, and Towers one of the first to go.
Two and two. Well, he was offered another position in the restructuring, the way Tony wants to reform the organization.
I don't think Kevin's going to be without a job too long. I think he's a pretty good GM.
Got him. And that'll retire the side. Bad base running play may have cost us. Meanwhile, it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Central, presented by GMC. The Bears make their final preparations for Sunday's opener versus Buffalo. And you get a recap of all the pennant races in Major League Baseball. See that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
We move to the bottom of the second inning, where
Chris Sale gave up a run on 3 hits. There was a stolen base and a throwing error. And then a base hit by Santana knocked in Brantley. So it's 1-0 Tribe.
The Indians made a deal. They acquired J.B. Shuck from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Gives him a little more offensive depth.
Ryan Rayburn takes first pitch. That's a fastball strike. Ryan hitting at 195, not against us. He's 7 for 23 with a couple of homers lifetime off Chris. He has been a Sox killer.
There you look at 75 runs batted in 104 games lifetime. Last time we saw Tribe in Cleveland, he was on the disabled list. None of our pitchers missed him, certainly. Those are huge production numbers from a guy not known to drive in big numbers.
Well, again, if you look at his season numbers of 195, 3 and 21. That's why numbers can be so misleading in this game. You'd say this guy can't hit a lick. He gone.
That one had the plate. Second strikeout for Sale. Menard's pitch tracks. A slider catches a piece of the inside corner. Good call by Clint Fagan. Because if you take a look at where the catcher catches it, it's out of the zone. But it has to cross the plate to strike, and that one did.
Here's Chisenhall at 296, 12 homers and 52 driven in. He takes first pitch strike. Lonnie just 25 years old. One and two the count. Breaking ball hit sharply. Sanchez got it. So 2 down. And join our Sox as they honor retiring Captain Paul Konerko throughout September with tributes and special giveaways. So join Club Konerko, a special outfield section, to receive an exclusive Paul Konerko collectible. So for tickets and information, visit whitesox.com/Konerko. Here's Zach Walders playing second base. Big switch hitter. Hitting at 162, 4 homers, and he's knocked in 10. Slowly hit. Good play by Marcus on the run. Bare hands, and that'll retire the side. We're into the third. We trail it 1-0.
Photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game. And as always, it's brought to you by AT&T.
Carlos Sanchez and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton and Alexei Ramirez to face the 24-year-old southpaw. Sanchez takes first pitch strike.
Carlos has done a great job since coming up, and it's the duty of a young player to try to impress the brass. He hasn't done a whole lot wrong so far. Since coming back, all Carlos has done is hit .348. Plus, he gives you a switch hitter. He's given you absolutely dependable range and sometimes very good range at second.
One and two the count. First of three in our last trip into Cleveland, 2014.
And then it's home after the Sunday game. Oakland for 4, Minnesota for 3. And then the last and longest road trip will go on after that.
One out. Third strikeout by House.
Just in case Adam thinking about a bunt, they're in at the corners.
And here's Eaton. Ramirez made a good play to get him leading off the ball game. Chopper up the middle. We mentioned TJ House. TJ stands for Tiger Jr. His real name is Glenn Anthony House. Chopper to Hopper. So 2 out to Alexei. Alexei hit it right on the money. Line shot right to Tyler Holt in center field. To another count. Other action shows San Francisco leading Detroit 3-0. That's in the top of the second. At Comerica. Perry fakes the bunt. Brought Chisenhall way back and takes the strike. So 2-1. And if it was fair, it was going to be a base hit, but it went foul.
And with lots of lefties getting starts for the Sox this year, House is the first lefty to make a start for the Indians when he made his first start, first of the 15 he has started this year.
As yanked hard but foul. Brantley back, looks up, And you can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. A home run for Alexei, his 14th, and this game is tied at 1.
Gives you an idea how lively this ballpark is because Alexei is seemingly out on the front foot. Our Ford home run replay. He catches it off the end part of the bat, and it just keeps on going. Brantley realizing that he's either going to be high off the wall or out of the ballpark. Sees it leave, driving in his 65th run of the year.
So here is Abreu. Well, a lot of times an outfielder, the way he will play it has to do with the swing of the hitter.
I think he was pretty well fooled on that.
He was fooled.
Yeah.
He was probably the most surprised guy in the park that it went over his head out of the ballpark. Jose singles sharply in the hole between first and second to extend his hitting streak.
And for House, that's the 9th home run he's given up in 79 innings.
And that ball hit hard into right field. And that's going to be over his head off the wall. So he falls down. Now Abreu seeing that, he's going to mosey on into third base very easily with his second triple.
Ryan Rayburn has some problems with this, safe to say. It's a fastball. It's low and away out of the strike zone. And Jose crushes it. And then Rayburn gets trapped too close to the wall. When the ball bounces by him, he goes down. And the big man coasts into third.
So he now has 33 homers, 32 doubles, 2 triples. And here is Avi. Avi struck out. And he takes ball 1.
And Terry Francona gambling that his ball club is going to score some more off Chris Sale. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. With Garcia and the speed he has, would you play the entire infield back?
Yeah.
You think he's that powerful?
I'd play him back as far as I could. Two and one with 2 out here in the top of the third. And they get him, but the home run by Alexei. And we'll go to the bottom of the third, tied at 1.
suspended after 7 innings today. They'll pick it up right there. Then Comcast will also not only show that, but they'll show the nightcap. It's Cubs Pirates tomorrow at 2 o'clock, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
We have ourselves a 1-1 tie here going to the bottom of the third. It'll be Perez, then back to the top of the order with Holt and Ramirez to face Chris Sale.
Roberto Perez looked pretty good against us in Chicago.
Yes, he did.
And for a guy who will be a backup catcher to Yan Gomes, he could be very valuable.
They had Holt look good against us. Perez looked good against us. Certainly Ramirez looked very good against us. Chisenhall just coming into his own. I think the best thing that's happened to Chisenhall is playing with Brantley. He's more or less taken his setup at the plate, and I'm sure he's been talking to him about his approach. As there's a good breaking ball strike.
Only thing he's had trouble with this year is that mustache.
If that's all he's got problems with, he'll be fine.
That's the only thing that he's had trouble with. Other than that, he's hit just about everybody.
Well, when you're hitting like that, managers don't care how bad your mustache is.
Look at the beard on Derek Norris with Oakland.
Yeah. That ball hit in the center field. And that is out number 1. And come out to the field for free T-shirt Mondays. That's Monday, September 8th. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Paul Konerko T-shirt. Watch as our Sox take on the A's at 7:10, and tickets start as low as $7. That is free T-shirt Mondays, Monday, September 8th. So here's Holt.
And if you haven't heard, Paul Konerko has a small fracture in his hand. And doctors say it's not going to get any worse by playing, but he's probably going to be out a week and hopefully be able to come back after that.
Good breaking ball there. Yeah. Talking to Paul before the game, he said he probably did on a tag. A hard tag he made, maybe the hardest tag he's ever made while playing first base in Santana. Yeah, it's amazing. I told him, I said, Paulie, I said, in the last 3 years, it's amazing how many problems you've had with your hands. It's just been unbelievable.
Which, of course, for a hitter is not necessarily a death knell, but it certainly will take your effectiveness away.
He didn't even know he had done anything wrong. He said he went to bed, everything was okay. Woke up the next morning, he was a little sore. He even took batting practice the next day.
Apparently they checked it here on the off day and they saw the little crack.
Yeah, that'd be a shame for him. He's going to hit some more. He's going to play some more. He wants to play before the season winds down. That's up high. Going to miss that guy. One of my all-time joys with the Sox. I've been fortunate to have so many. He's one of them.
This at bat shaping up just like the first at bat, where he made Chris Sale really work before the base hit to lead off the ball game.
So a full count. That's foul back. One thing you'll notice, and maybe it's just a coincidence, it could be, but if you'll notice all the players that come out of Florida State
they give you good at bats. I mean, Mike Martin runs a terrific program down there, and they give you, I mean, some really competitive at bats up there.
Well, these two by Holt have gone at least 9 pitches each,
Oh,
and that takes a whole lot out of the starting pitcher.
That's one of the things that Mike Martin teaches. As that's off the end of the bat. Coming on, he can't get there. Now he's going to go for second base. Here's a throw. He gone. Beautiful throw by Michael. Right on the money.
Second hit. But when he saw this ball briefly roll by Michael Taylor, he decided to gamble. Well, the gamble cost him. Right there, out by plenty. Good solid throw. It's right on the money. And there's a break.
So here's Ramirez. Just hit the ball very hard. With Holt on first base, down 2. Marcus Semien at third for a 5-4-3 double play. Yeah, but Buster Posey gives you those good at bats.
Really does.
Yeah, I mean, almost every hitter you see come out of Florida State. I watched them quite a bit on my. There's a chopper 2 hopper, and that'll retire the side. So a nice play by Michael Taylor, and we'll go to the 4th. One 4-1 for our guys, 1-4-0 for their guys. Here in the top of the 4th inning with some rain coming. Here's Tank. He's 0 for 1. He lined out hard to Tyler Holt in center field. Here's a base hit. Throw the leadoff single. Terry Hanley's pick to click. And here's Marcus. He had a line shot base hit his first time up. Takes a strike. Back him up. Kept his foot on the base long enough, I guess. Meanwhile, 2 down. And join us on Friday, September 12th at 7:10 as our Sox take on the Twins. Now, the first 20,000 fans ages 21 and over will receive a White Sox Irish flat cap. That's a nice cap, presented by Miller Lite. Also, enjoy our post-game fireworks presented by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. There's a difference. Miller Lite, official beer of your Chicago White Sox. There's the strike. Taylor hit into a 6-5 fielder's choice. There's a strike and the count 2-2. That'll do it. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 1. On the A's for Military and First Responders Appreciation Day, presented by GovX. So for all current and former military or first responders to get savings on tickets, gear, and more, visit whitesox.com/GovX. Brantley, Santana, and Gomes here in the Cleveland half of the 4th inning. Brantley, who singled sharply in the left field, stole second, went to third on a throwing error. They're coming with 2 out in the 1st inning, and then he scored on Santana's single. Interesting thing about Mike Martin, head coach at Florida State, who's been there now, head coach for 33 years. He was assistant coach for Woody Woodward when Woody was head baseball coach there.
Or Major League shortstop.
Yep. And he also, for 1 year, was an assistant coach to Dick Hauser, who was a
Major League manager.
Yeah, who went to the Yankees. And Mike stepped into that head coaching role at Florida State in 1980.
That's why most left-handers have big problems with Chris, because that slider breaks quickly, looks like it's starting way behind you. You give up on it, and it catches part of the plate.
Well, I heard your pregame hit with David Kaplan, and you hit it right on the head. Certainly, you know, Kershaw, you've got to go with him. There's no question about that. At this particular time, is the best left-hander in the game and the best pitcher in the game.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
No, there's not. You got to go with it. You got to give him that until somebody dismantles him, so to speak. And then you got a couple other good pitchers like Felix. But of all the guys, if you want to put the top 5 in there, and as you said, you mentioned it, if you want to, who was the most uncomfortable 0 for 4 among all of them, every one of them. Oh, nice pick by Marcus. 2 down. All the hitters would tell you, without question, Chris Sale is.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he is one of the 5 best pitchers in the game. There's also no doubt. And the question was this: would you limit his innings or take some of the starts away going down the stretch in a year when the Sox aren't going to make it to the postseason? I told David no. The reason being that he still has a legitimate shot at the Cy Young Award. You don't know how many years he's going to have that shot, and maybe he won't get there. But that being said, unless Chris tells you that he's tired or wants to shut it down, I think you got to run him out there and give him at least a shot to win the Cy. Because he can do that with these numbers.
There's no question about it. Look what Felix did a few years ago with Seattle.
At 13 and 12, and he won it all.
Because he was the best pitcher in baseball at that time, or in the American League.
And Felix is going to be given lots of consideration this year.
No, you know, it's amazing. Circumstances dictate opportunity sometimes, and it seems like guys are trying to find out and figure out ways to keep the best pitchers from throwing.
You know, it's amazing to me.
You take Washington with Strasburg a couple of years ago. I mean, going with a chance to win the World Series. I'll never understand. I love Mike Rizzo. Don't get me wrong. I love it, but I just don't understand it. You know, you take these kids out of high school, which we've touched on this before. They're throwing. There's a strike and a count 2-2. They're throwing more pitchers in Major League pitches than Major League pitchers are in a week's time.
By far.
By far. Okay. And all of a sudden they sign a big contract. They come into professional baseball and say, "Whoa, you're not going to throw it." No, you're going to go with 80 pitches. 80 pitches. And some organizations less than that. And it's shown as a rule, their velocity after the first year of professional baseball goes down, not up.
Wait till you see the next wave of 6-man rotations coming into Major League.
Well, you know, I've said that for a long time. It'll be a 6-man rotation before they go back to a 4-man rotation.
You're going to probably see it as soon as next year.
He gone. 1-2-3 inning for Chris. First 1-2-3 inning he's had, and we're still tied at 1.
Fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Chicago Fan Photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
Here's Tyler. Tyler struck out. You know, getting back to the 6-man rotation, there's only one way that can work. Only one way, and it's not going to happen. And that's if you expand the roster.
You put another guy or two in that bullpen.
That's the only way it's going to have a chance to work. And you've got some owners who will go for it, because if you just go one spot, make it a 26-man roster, there's a nice play by Walters. You're talking about cheap money. It's cheap money to give you a little bit of insurance by having another guy. Or you're going to take what the managers have been doing their whole lives in the game of baseball and making them change, because they're going to have to manage differently. And they're going to have to manage into a game that they don't really understand as much as they do with a 25-man roster. And most of the owners are going to say, hey, look, these are the rules. You got a 25-man. Now you got to play inside the rules. That's what most of them are going to say.
Well, if you do, you have 6 starters and 7 relievers. And that means the manager is really handcuffed, because he's got 4 moves off the bench, one of which is a backup catcher. And that being said, that gives you 3 moves. And in the National League, it's horrific because they like to double switch. They would like to have a pinch hitter late or a pinch runner late. Not going to be able to do any of that. And if one of the 6 starters or 2 of the 6 starters gets knocked out in the 3rd or 4th inning, you're going to eventually tax that bullpen to the point where they're going to run out of gas.
Well, you can bet your sweet Bippy that in one cycle with a 6-man rotation, in one cycle, you're not going to have more than 3 guys go past 5 innings.
I mean, well,
you're not going to have it.
Nowadays,
it's hard enough to find 4 good starters. Now you're going to try to find 6? Come on.
Yeah, going to be tough.
The only way is to expand the roster. That's the only way. It's even remotely possible. 2-2 to Carlos, and that's in the whole base hit. That young man I'll tell you what, he's got a chance to be a good player. We talked about him in the spring, and he just turned 22 years old.
His entire career, he's been the youngest player in every minor league city he's gone to. So being the youngest player in the league, you got to have some talent to keep on progressing through the system.
Little Mags
coming up here, hitting .315, not all bad.
He's going to be a good player. As Adam fights it off.
Tigers must have been doing their rain dance, because we saw huge storms sweeping across. They're losing 6-0 to San Francisco. That game after 3, and it's delayed by what looks like a whole lot of rain.
Staying north of Cleveland, knock on wood so far. It's outside. But we are going to get some. I don't think there's any doubt about that. One out, one on, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cleveland had a strong August. They were 17-9. September, just 1-3 so far.
And there's a chopper. Ramirez with a very strong arm on the move. Some guys have a strong arm when they plant and throw. That young man, just 21 years old, has a strong arm anywhere. So here's Alexei. And they're talking about first base being open, but you've got Abreu on deck. And here's what he did in the 3rd.
Indians pitching staff has been pretty much overwhelming. Last 31 games, 16 times they've allowed 1 earned run or less. So the pitching's been there. It's been the hitting that hasn't picked up the slack.
Well, one thing about it, when you take Nick Swisher out of there, you take the presence out of that lineup.
It's true.
Nick is a guy who comes up with, I don't care how he's swinging the bat, he'll come up with big base hits. And Nick, with 9 straight 20-homer seasons, is going to be snapped this year. But he is a big force and a big presence in this lineup.
Well, if Jason Kipnis were having his normal year, which he's not because of an oblique problem, that's a big factor for them. Gomes was...
Well, those two guys changed the whole personality of the lineup.
Bourne was out for a while. Gomes was out.
One and 2 to Alexei. He just fights that one off. Good pitch right there by House. Two good shortstops in this game, and one of them just superb. The other got a chance to be superb. They both named Ramirez. Because that got him real good. He didn't want to do that, not with Abreu coming up.
Gets him right off the left foot. And then he goes down.
Man. One thing about Alexei Ramirez is just you just don't see a guy with that kind of build, that durable, and absolutely wants to play every inning of every game. And unless it's broken, he'll be in there tomorrow.
Well, the right foot works. Leroy Garcia comes on a pinch run. This is one of the few times, and we've seen Alexei hit a number of times, only to get back up and stay in the game. He must really be hurting here.
He is. There's enough meat on his arms and legs, much less on his feet.
He's got thin feet. Yeah.
Real thin feet. So here we go with 2 on 2 out. Abreu a single sharply and tripled off the right field wall. Well, just to show you how good Alexei's been this year as far as range goes. In the category of out of zone plays made in the major leagues this year, Alexei has made 124 plays what they call out of zone. That's when you have better than average range. 124. And the next is Gene Segura with 90. 34 less than Alexei. Third is Andrelton Simmons of the Braves with 76. J.J. Hardy and Alcides Escobar tied at 72. I mean, there's just no comparison.
He's winning that by a large margin, and it should get him the Gold Glove.
Checks it up. Takes it high and wide.
During the 14-game hitting streak, Jose is hitting a robust .532. A couple of home runs, 10 driven in. It's his third 14 or more game hitting streak this year. We'll scatter the Indians dugout a bit.
Well, even Abreu, when he got off the first couple of months of that terrific start, record-breaking start for a rookie, we were saying then Alexei has been our most valuable player for the first couple of months because he was knocking in big runs. He had 35 RBIs in a hurry, plus making all those great plays with 11.
Start to finish for Alexei, it's been his best year
ever.
I mean, he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. He's driving in runs, making just about every play, making plays that very few guys around baseball can even think about making.
As he chases a changeup out of the zone, and that'll retire the side. We're halfway home, tied at 1. Thank you. As Ryan Rayburn struck out, called out on a good slider. Takes ball 1. 6-1 for us, 1-4-0 for them. They had a run in the first. We got one in the third.
And as you would expect, Leury Garcia, who came on to pinch run, goes in at shortstop.
Yeah, that front is just getting to Toledo right now. So we got a little time left. Jammed himself right there. Could be trouble. But Michael Taylor is Michael on the spot. 1 out. And our Sox would like to welcome Chicago Bulls fans to the ballpark for the game on Saturday, September 13th. In addition to specially priced tickets, fans will receive a special White Sox Bulls hat. And will also have the opportunity to participate in a pregame fan fest and parade. So visit whitesox.com/Chicago Bulls. Chisenhall grounded out to Sanchez. As he does what a lot of good left-handers will do. He'll just take the first pitch, watch it all the way as he did.
It is pretty amazing. Chris Sale's only allowed 1 extra base hit to a left-hand hitter all season. And most likely, if Mike Aviles was healthy and he's not, Chisenhall would not be in the lineup against Sale. Now he's 1 for 8 against him, but he's still dangerous.
Dadgum right, he's dangerous. But not on that high one at 94. 2 down. Zach Walters. He topped one, a little swinging bunt down the third baseline. Marcus Semien came in barehanded and threw him out.
We got Walters from the Washington Nationals in exchange for his Drupal Cabrera. That will pave the way at shortstop for a good young player, and whether it's Ramirez or not, their #1 prospect, Francisco Lindor, should be ready here in the not too distant future.
Well, that one left-handed hitter to get a base hit off Chris. It was who else but Robinson Cano. A double. Robinson hitting at .322 on the season, and is a huge reason at the Seattle club. As there's a base hit back through the middle.
So Walters celebrates his 25th birthday with a base hit. And happy belated birthday to you, Mr. Harrelson.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now I know you had a terrific day yesterday. Because you were as close to gray as any human being I've seen.
I'll tell you,
the day before in Minneapolis.
Rough day. I never got in my pajamas. 73 and holding.
Congratulations.
It used to be 39 and holding, now 73 and holding.
Both blown by 39 quite some time ago.
Yeah, exactly. No, yesterday was not any fun. Perez. Roberto went fly deep to center field. Got a break there. Evans accounted 1. But Clint Fagan's had a good game so far. For the most part, we've had some good umpire games. Been a couple in there that were really bad.
A lot of the younger guys we've seen getting their first shot, maybe their second year in the league. They've been pretty good behind the plate.
Dadgum right they have.
Done a nice job.
Yes, they have.
And don't find many arguments. You don't find many guys looking back or questioning.
No, with the exception of a couple times, you know, as we've said over the years. Threw that one right by him. That one at 95. You don't see real good umpires getting in many arguments. For the most part this year, most of the arguments that we've seen have been with veteran umpires. Only a few with younger guys.
There's a look at Clint Fagan.
That fastball at 96. Chris Sale, 6'6", 180 pounds. And I mean, that is just as he steps out of the shower.
I was going to say, that's on a good day.
You know,
I would take the under, I think, of 180 at this point.
That's
in the
before
season.
he grabs a towel.
That is a strong but very thin man.
We got two of the strongest, thinnest guys in baseball on our team. It's in Alexi. That's popped up. That's a can of corn. Adam is there. And we have completed 5. And we're tied at 1. Where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including White Sox tickets. Plus, with all-in pricing, there are no surprise fees at checkout. So StubHub, your tickets, upgrades, and more. TJ House, for the second time against us, is pitching himself a heck of a ball game. And you know he's a good competitor. You got to know that, because his sophomore year in high school in 06, he won a state swimming championship.
That's unusual.
That will tell you a little something about how competitive he is. Avi. And they just do get him. So Avi no for 3, and that'll bring up Viciado.
Ramirez has a good arm, but that time decided to throw from the side and just loop it there and get it there just a step ahead of Garcia.
Did you ever do any competitive swimming?
My competitive swimming was limited to saving my life if someone pushed me in the pool. That was it.
I'll tell you, I did it in the YMCA program they had in Savannah for about 4 years. And I want to tell you something. When you're in a 100-meter race, that last lap and a half is nothing but pain.
I was strong.
Pain.
I was strong for 4 meters. Yeah,
You were a sprinter.
I was one of the great sprinters of all time. Yes, sir.
After the dive, that was it.
That was it. Right.
That didn't take long. 2 down. Yeah, but I'll tell you, that last lap, when you get in 100 meters and you got somebody right beside you, that 100 last lap and a half is nothing but torture.
In the bullpen for the Tribe. The side-arming CC Lee loosening up in the pen.
Simeon hit the ball hard twice, once for a base hit and once into a double play. Steve mentioned it earlier. His first at bat since Marcus has been recalled, he has been barreling it up and squaring it up.
It's been good to see.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what else. He's looked good down to third.
Terry Francona, who knows his pitchers very well, realizes that House has given him a big effort, and he's nearing the danger zone for him. He's got 92 pitches in what I'm sure Terry, who's been through it many times before, realizes is a critical game.
As he gets him, he has himself a nice, easy 1, 2, 3 inning. So we go to the bottom of 6, still tied at 1.
First, they have to end their series with the Tribe here. So it's what.
And Michael Brantley.
Holtz has had 2 very good at bats. They would have been good at bats had they not wound up his base hits. He's 2 for 2, but they were lengthy at bats.
Yeah, that's the big benefit, especially for the on-deck hitter.
Now, what is the rule for on-deck hitters? Because we see the Indians in this situation with Ramirez. He's backed by what is considered the on-deck circle, where they have the weighted bat and the pine tar and everything else. But we've seen Avisail Garcia very much up on the grass, getting as close to home plate as possible. Is there a definitive rule where the on-deck hitter has to stand and how far he can get from the plate?
Yeah, it's umpire's discretion. If he thinks you're too close there, he can turn around and get you back. But the definitive rule, as far as standing being 3 or 4 feet or 5 feet from the circle, I don't think there is. I just think it's umpire's discretion. That's the definitive rule. You know, it's in the best interest of baseball.
Well,
and
there are some pitchers who've been known, if you get too close to the plate,
oh yeah,
they've known,
those
especially in warm-ups,
well,
they'll sail one right by you.
You didn't do it. In my time zone, you didn't do it.
No.
Period. I mean,
you weren't going to play that.
Nobody did it. Nice pitch. 1 out. No, there was just no. Where Ivy goes sometimes is so close, closer than any hitter that I've seen ever, maybe ever. So here's Ramirez.
Could you imagine doing that to Don Drysdale or Bob Gibson, 2 Hall of Famers?
No.
Who had a real nasty streak in them.
No. Well, Drysdale hit more guys than anybody in the history of the game.
Not surprising.
And they weren't pitches that got away.
I was going to say, I'm not sure too many of them were accidental.
No, you didn't even think about it. And I'll tell you, one of the fastest times I've ever had around the bases is that's how I play. I hit a home run off Gibson in spring training when I was a kid in St. Petersburg. You can't believe how fast I got around those bases. He crossed home plate and went right to the dugout. No high fives, no nothing.
I remember as a Cubs player, one of our hitters hit a home run off Bob Gibson. He didn't think the home run should have been hit off him by that particular hitter. He followed him around the bases screaming at him and telling him he's going to get him the next time up. And next time up, man was on first base, but very painful. Followed him first, second, third, and on the way home.
Well, I've seen pitchers scream at guys. That's fouled away, that big sweeper. And I remember the only home run I hit off Catfish Hunter was in Fenway in a close ball game. He hit me on the fist with a fastball. Wind was blowing out straight out 30 or 40 miles an hour. Bat cracked, ball got up in the air, hit right on top of the green monster, bounced over. And I'm going around first base, and I'm saying, "Cat, I'm sorry," because he was just looking at me because we were former teammates. And he was one of probably the best teammate I ever had. (3-2). He did not go. And that's the first walk issued by Chris Sale and the first walk issued in this ball game.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action replay. And it came in the first inning. Michael Brantley steals second. Throw into center field. He goes on to third base. And knocked in by Carlos Santana. And that is the lone Indian run. Countered by an Alexei Ramirez home run to where we stand at 1-1.
And if you're just tuning in, Alexei had to lead the ball game. He was hitting the foot. Breaking ball from House. But you know, you were talking about earlier T.J. House getting the danger zone. getting up around 6 innings. That's not so much in Francona's case, but in some managers' case, they create that themselves. They create that situation themselves. And to me, it's just ludicrous. It really is. There he just ate him up, and they don't turn it.
In a 1-1 game, this could turn out to be a very big play. Marcus Semien having a good run at it. That fastball gets way in there. They get the force. Very close at first.
Well, he may have been out. He may, but it's not going to be conclusive. You know, you get in the best interest in baseball, and it has to be conclusive.
That was pretty hard. You could call that either way,
yeah,
and not get it overturned if they look
exactly. A lot of plays that we've seen like that. So Brantley with that 18th stolen base and 19 attempts. And a strike, nothing, and 1 to Santana. Yeah, but getting back to some managers create it themselves. I remember a game, one of our pitchers was pitching against the Yankees. I mean, absolutely just sticking the bats where they shouldn't be stuck. Had a 3-run lead. And after 7 innings, the guy took him out. Brought in a reliever. Our guy had him shut out, so he brought in a reliever, and they scored 4 runs in 2 innings, and we get beat. So after the game, he said, well, is that ball into left field? He's got it. Said, well, anytime he gets around 100 pitches to good hitters, he usually gets hit hard. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, that's the story here. For Bark at the Park at U.S. Cellular Field, presented by Avoderm Natural Nylabone. So for more information on how to purchase your tickets, visit whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Seventh inning, 1-6-1 for us, 1-5-0 for them. Lower third of our order: Taylor, Flowers, Sanchez. Michael has hit into a 6-5 fielder's choice and struck out. Right off the end of the bat. Big swing. On the changeup. 1 out. So here's Tyler. He has struck out and he has grounded to second.
Changeup from both of these left-handers has been very good tonight. And House is doing exactly what he did last time out against Kansas City. Turned out to be a suspended game, but he went 7, got a no decision, gave up only 1 run on 5 hits. Very similar type performance tonight.
Well, we're seeing this all over baseball now. We're seeing left-handers who throw high 80s, maybe 90, possibly 91, but especially high 80s, with a good changeup. And he cannot grab the ears on it, so Tyler will beat it out on a base hit. But we're seeing soft tossing left-handers have never been more prominent than they are right now.
Well, Chisenhall hasn't had a good year defensively. He's committed 17 errors. That being said, even if he gets this one cleanly, he's going to be hard pressed to throw him out at first base.
Here's where we need Carlos to first and third. Carlos has struck out and singled. Singled in the hole between third and short. That ball hit well, but it's can of corn. Tyler Holt right in front of the track. I'll tell you, you young high schoolers and college guys out there, left-handers who don't throw that hard, you have never been in better position to possibly pitch in the major leagues than you are right now. And the pitch that you better come up with is a changeup.
Stay healthy, get the ball over the plate, and learn a changeup. There's no reason at all why you can't have a very good and potentially very long career in the major league.
That's right.
Just stay healthy and get the ball over the plate.
You don't have to have a big breaking ball, more of a show me breaking ball, but you have to be able to get that over. But the changeup is the pitch. Two out, 1-1 to count. First of 3 against the Tribe over this weekend.
.100 pitches, and the bullpen still up and going for the Tribe as Adam Eaton fought that last ball off. There is once again CC Lee.
He gets it. 7th inning stretch, tied at 1.
moment, and it entails all that Chris Sale did tonight. And 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 5 hits in 6 innings with 1 lone run, only the second run he's given up on the road in 2.5 months. As Daniel Webb comes into this one, the game tied at 1, on for the 50th time. He's 6-4. ERA just about 3.5. This year, for the most part, he's been the right man in the right spot. He's got to deal with the middle of this Indians order.
All right, Steve, I'm going to give you a question.
Okay.
In your opinion, in your opinion, would you rather have a good left-handed starter, or that same good left-handed starter as a lockdown closer?
I'd rather have the lockdown closer.
Me too. No question about it, not even close.
Well, I mean, look at how many lockdown left-handed closers there are around baseball. Very few. If you got one, you've got to treat him like gold, because that's what he is to you. He is your gold.
Not even, to me, it's not even close. So here we go. Yan Gomes. Rayburn. Chisenhall. Hit him on the fist, pops him up. That pitch at 94.
That's a dangerous man retired out of the strike zone.
Well, we got one of our Sox killers out twice tonight, a strikeout and a pump up to left field, and of course that was Ryan Rayburn. Bourne swung the bat extremely well against us in that series back home.
And because he usually starts when he plays, this is only the second time he's pinch hit all year. And he was 0 for 1.
And that 3-game set against us. He got 2 hits in the first game, 2 hits in the second game, and 3 hits with 2 triples in the finale.
That's a career pinch hitting, and it hasn't been very pretty.
And that is out number 2. And just sense a little bit about Daniel Webb. For the last month and a half, 2 months, you felt that he was a little tentative in trusting his stuff. Ball 1, ball 2, 3-1. The last few times out there, it looks like he's gaining some confidence, just the way he's attacking the hitter.
I hope he keeps the ball away from Chisenhall, because this guy's dangerous, and he's a pull hitter most of the time. But with his stuff, and it's very good, he keeps it in the zone consistently. There's no reason why he can't not only stay in the major leagues, but quite possibly star in the major leagues.
Yeah, I still think he's got to come up and not perfect, you never will perfect, but improve on his changeup. He's got to have a better changeup than he has right now.
That one bounced off of Tyler Flowers, and Clint Fagan giving him a chance to shake out any cobwebs.
We might get this game to a conclusion
Yeah, Surkamp and Clado start throwing in the pen.
As that front is just now passing by Toledo. Three and one.
Well, certainly, as always has been, this is where a home run hitter, in whatever zone he likes, is looking for a fastball in that zone. And he's going to get the slider. There was a break. Tyler Flowers wanted it low and in, and that ball hung high and out over the plate, and he got the call.
Yeah, that was a get me over slider. That was more of a spinner, a spiral. So he gets the hot hitting Lonnie Chisenhall. Nice 1-2-3 inning, and we're into the 8th. MatBat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet. You can get live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, stats, live radio broadcasts, MLB TV game of the day, and more. So download AtBat on the App Store or visit whitesox.com/mobile today.
Tyler Holt shifts over to right field. Michael Bourne stays in the game in center field. And the man who had such a good run at it in our ballpark, Brian Shaw, comes into the game. 5-3, the ERA, 2.26 on for the 71st time. He's been overwhelming this year when you look at the walk to strikeout ratio and the fact that right-hand hitters hitting 160 against him. It's time to get a run, because House left 7 innings, 1 run on 7 hits, didn't walk anybody, and he fanned 7.
Well, that young man's got a chance with that changeup, that slinging action he's got, breaking ball down and in to the right-handers. TJ House. He's got a chance to be a good one.
Looked very strong the last 2 times out. Almost identical performances. Last one against Kansas City. And here tonight.
Second time against us. Leary making his first plate appearance. Came on the run for Alexei, who was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Leary has faced Brian Shaw twice, and he's 1 for 2.
He came over from the Diamondbacks, and he's been a very useful man for Terry Francona. He really leans on Shaw.
One out. Shaw against us, one of the most impressive relievers in the league.
Throws hard. He has 2 different speeds of slider. Keeps it in the zone. And ERA at 2.25. Pretty impressive.
Well, a buddy of mine just texted that the front hitting our way is a doozy. Trees were uprooted, rain was sideways, wind was brutal.
That's not good. A compelling case for Jose to try to hit one out. Shaw's only given up 4 home runs in 68 innings.
That's a great concept.
Yep. You made the case. Let's see if he can hit the ball out. All you got to do is get it up in the air to right center.
We still should have at least 40, 45 minutes yet.
His fastball, that one was at 95, acts exactly like a slider or a cutter.
Well, that's what makes him so effective right there. I mean, that ball moved a good 6-7 inches.
And unlike the slider or the cutter, it came in a lot harder.
That one at 94.
He got it. It was up, but it was out away from him.
And that ball hit hard. It's souvenir time.
He leads the major leagues in this his 71st appearance. That one at 83 miles an hour. He took something off the slider, and he had Jose way out in front of it. Perfect pitch out of the zone. And he got him.
So here's Avi. 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded to third, and grounded to short. He got a cookie there.
He hung him a slider, and he fouled it straight back. Take a look at the location of this one. Just hanging right up in his eyes.
That was it. And a count 3-1.
Ricciardo in the on-deck circle. And one of the things you still have is Connor Gillespie on the bench.
That ball hit high into right field. Back on the track. Makes the catch. He just missed that one. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the eighth.
Still tied at 1.
The new pinch hitter coming in. Javi Guerra. On for the 36th time. He's 1-3. The ERA, a very respectable 2.82. And he's going to have to deal with Jason Kipnis, who's going to lead it off. He didn't start against Chris Sale. You don't want to stack your lineup with left-handers. But he is a premier base stealer if he can get on base. And in a 1-1 game, with a guy 22 of 25 in stolen bases, you want to keep him off.
One of the two best players on this team. Boy, without him, swishing the lineup. It's a different lineup. Very ordinary lineup, even with Wantley and Santana in there. Very ordinary lineup. 2-0 the count.
Well, he's figured to get a fastball here because you can't walk this guy in a tie ball game.
Well, he's pretty good high fastball here as well, especially for a left-handed hitter.
He got it.
Off the plate. Just a little bit. Knocks it down into his glove, throws him out. Ball was not hit that hard. Got another text here from my buddy who says, you better get ready to strap it down. A friend of mine just called me from Toledo.
Here it comes. Huh?
It's coming. And it is Ugly. I mean, it is Ugly. Not ugly, it's Ugly. So here's Perez. Twice he has gone out to Adam Eaton once deep. and one soft. Takes first pitch, strike that one at 94. Very quickly, the count 0-2.
There's a closer who's had some rough times lately, Cody Allen, getting loosened up in the pen.
He gone. Gas. 2 down.
Not sure what he's looking for, but he gets a fastball on the outer third of the plate and just gets frozen.
That'll bring up the right fielder, Tyler Holt. He's tuning in. He started the game in center. He is 2 for 3, 2 singles. Goes through that one. Draw guys in the 9th. Viciato, Simeon, and Michael Taylor, the scheduled hitters. And the count 0-2. Pretty good pitch, but it was off the plate. So Tyler, who went to Florida State, resides in Gainesville, home of the Gators. Curveball. As we have seen from Tyler Holt, he will have some extended at bats.
Long at bats tonight. Seen a lot of pitches, more than anybody else on the field by far.
2 out and the 2-2 pitch. Hit him up. Hit him on the fist. Piece of cake for Sanchez and a good inning. Bobby. We're into the 9th. Tied at 1.
Live, presented by Subaru. Get the recap on tonight's game and all the action around the league. Don't miss White Sox post-game live tonight, right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. And we've got some changes for the Indians. Jason Kipnis stays in the game at second base. And their closer, Cody Allen, comes in the game for his 68th appearance. Record 5.4 ERA, still a fine 220. Saves 18 for 21, but 80 strikeouts and 61 in a third. He came in a couple of nights ago throwing 98 miles an hour. But lately, despite that good outing, he's had some problems keeping the ball in the ballpark late. We'll see how he fares tonight.
Yeah, J.D. Martinez got him for that big 3-run homer in the top of the 9th. Game the Tigers won 4-2 right over the center field fence and those trees out there. And I believe that one was at 97.
Yeah.
J.D. Martinez been a huge find for the Tigers.
What a great deal they made just bringing him over.
Tank does not go.
Tank's got big power to right center, and the wind continues to blow out.
It's picking up
in that direction.
Yeah, picking up. Breaking ball high, and the count 2-0.
Terry Francona has in mind is buying an inning. Bring your closer in a tie game to buy 1 inning. Take it with a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th.
Most managers have their own version of saving a ball game. Sometimes it could be in the 7th inning. According to how the lineup is, how many are on base, the turnover of the lineup, the same thing. Every manager, not everyone, but a lot of them have different opinions. It's like a fingerprint. As you mentioned, Terry doesn't mind trying to buy an inning with his closer.
Nope. And he's got enough guys in the bullpen to make it hang up. Unfortunately, that one way out of the strike zone. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
That fastball at 95.
Tank has 28 walks and 463 at bats. Odds are he's not walking. I laid off a real close one there. Terry Francona has 36 more relief appearances from his bullpen than any team in baseball.
That's a bunch. That's a bunch. Like Mike Mayer, one of our high home cameramen back home, he said it. He said, I think it was on August 30th or 31st. He says, can you imagine September 1st when Terry Francona gets 4 or 5 more guys out there in the bullpen?
He's got a few more.
502 games in relief. Moves. One out.
Another pitch probably out of the zone. Maybe just nicked it. But he threw it by him. See, the entire bat is upstairs, mostly out of the zone.
Well, that's why you got against Cody Allen. There's a formula that goes with him, and the formula is make him get it down.
He doesn't have a sinker. He has a riding fastball.
Make him get it down. That is the formula.
But he does have that, and that is a hard, quick breaking slider.
Well, you're not going to break him on that at all. You're not going to beat him. What you got to do is beat him on a fastball it's got to be down, not at the top of the zone. That ball hit into center field. That pitch at 86, so quickly, 2 gone. And when I say these things, it may sound like I'm saying that it's easy. It's not. But I'm saying what you have to do against good pitchers, especially closers, late in a ball game, in a close ball game, is you got to have an approach. You got to have someone. You step in that box, okay, I'm gonna make him get it down. Make him get it down. Or if he's a sinker baller, I'm gonna make him get it up. I'm gonna make him get it up. You just can't be looking for the ball. These are the guys that you got to zone in. Hard throwing relievers. And almost everybody that comes out of that pen today, about 95% of them are hard throwing relievers.
One of those, yeah. You don't find many soft tossing left-handers who are pensmen.
No. That's up high. That's why, like Abreu on our club, he has the best approach against left-handed pitching than anybody we've got or have had in a long time. He tries to beat those guys to right field.
Does a pretty good job of it.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a great approach there. He's not thinking about swing. He's thinking about approach.
And T.J. House stayed away. But when he did come in, he still hit it to right field and singled and tripled to extend his hitting streak to 14 games.
3-1 the count. Flowers on deck for them in the bottom of the ninth. Miras, Brantley, and Santana. That's, for the most part, the heart of this order. That ball hit hard in the center field. Bourne going back. It's over his head. So Michael Taylor just hits a line shot, and he'll pull up at second. If he gets that up, it's out of here. Meanwhile, we got a man in scoring position.
Last double was back on May 8th of 2012. And he got a fastball.
Belt high.
At 95, inner half. It's sitting right there on a tee for him. And he hit the daylights out of it over the head of Bourne.
Yeah, 6 inches higher, and he can't get there. Meanwhile,
well, the problem with using Connor Gillespie here is you got first base open.
Well, this guy's got to have something. Michael Taylor, in case you're asking where we get him, where's he from? He's going to have something, because you got to figure Todd Steverson was huge in the selection of him being the player to be named later.
At one point, he had worked his way to the #1 prospect in the Philadelphia Philly organization. And he's still got the talent. So the pinch hitting Gillespie is going to be put on first base. That'll leave it up to Carlos to try to win it, or at least knock in the go-ahead run.
But you got to figure Todd saw something in this guy when he had him in the Oakland organization. So 2 outs, 2 on. And here comes Sanchez. He's 1 for 3. Strikeout, a single. And in the 7th, went out deep to center field.
The one advantage the outfield will have, and that is they can play a little more shallow.
Gap out there in right center. Breaking ball, took that pitch nicely. Very nice. Late call, but it had part of the zone.
Just nicked the lower part of the strike zone.
So the 1-2. Look at the bottom of the 9th, still tied at 1.
The bottom of the 9th inning to the best part of their order. ERA 5.12. And they don't hit him very well, but his control has not been there.
Well, that's the whole thing with Michael, and that's the whole thing every team he's had or he's been with. He has got definitely the ability to be a closer. There's no question about that.
No doubt.
But there's something that a lot of people say that is so true, especially veterans who've been around and seen a lot of things. Before you can be a specialist in any sport, you have to develop a style. And when you, by that I mean when you go out to the, if you're a hitter, you go to the plate, you just can't go up there looking for the ball. You got to have a presence in that box. You got to get your own thing going. When you go to that mound, you got to have a presence out there. if you notice, most of your big closers, they all do something unique unto them. They have a style of some sort. They just don't get the ball and throw it.
No, the common thread is they all throw strikes.
You can't. Well, you can't do anything unless you throw strikes.
No.
It's just, I don't care what kind of arm you got. So here's Ramirez. Takes that one at 98. I don't care how strong you are as a hitter unless you make contact. Or how hard you throw as a pitcher unless you throw strikes. That's low.
Josh Fegley comes in behind the plate.
The ball hit hard right at him. Boy, that is absolutely a hang wolf'em right there for young Jose Ramirez. Whew. So here's Brantley. He's 1 for 3 with a stolen base. And that morphed into a run back in the first inning. They scored theirs in the first. We scored ours on a home run by Alexei in the third. $18 homers, 87 knocked in. Michael. Developed into one of the fine outfielders in the American League. One of the fine players in the American League. Sanchez with a nice little backhand and 2 gone. Santana with a single in the first, knocking in Brantley, picking up his 71st RBI. Then he hit the ball very hard down to Simeon for an out. Then he lined out to left, so he has swung the bat well tonight.
And this is his power side. 17 of his 24 home runs have come as a left-hand hitter. Last year on July 31st, Santana did hit a walk-off home run.
Lays off that breaking ball. He did not go.
Lee and Zipchinski. Zipchinski, the left-hander on the right, and Lee, the right-hander on the left.
And 99% of the time you will see that set up in the bullpens with a right-hander and a left-hander up. Breaking ball there. 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Everybody deep on the right side.
season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side.
Zipchinski comes into the ball game, and we're likely to see at least 2 pitchers this inning. He's on for the 63rd time. He's 0-3. His ERA just under 3. 40 strikeouts in 42 1/3. He is very much a specialist. In 2 ball games at U.S. Cellular Field, he pitched the 3rd of an inning, got the left-hander out, and then departed. Whether or not he faces Garcia is Terry Francona's decision, but it won't be Brown to face the Abreu, Garcia, Viciedo aspect of this lineup.
Adam is due. He's 0 for 4. 3 ground outs and a strikeout. So this is the 13th extra inning game for us this year. In the first 12. Nobody there. Base hit. Safe. Yes.
You have to have tremendous coordination, and you have to anticipate that if you're Kipnis and Santana. Because of the left-hander who falls off the mound to the third base side, if he drags a bunt, the pitcher can't possibly get there. It's got to be Kipnis or it's not going to be anybody. And as it turned out, it was nobody.
So here's Leury. He's been to the plate 1 time, struck out. Came in back in the 5th for Alexei, who was hitting the foot with a pitch. And of course, Alexei was 1 for 2 with a home run, his 14th. That's the only tally we put on the board. Takes the bunt, takes the ball.
If you do bunt it here, you're taking the bat right out of Abreu's hands.
So the sacrifice, 1-3.
Leury deadened it enough, and Zipchinski had only 1 play. That was the first.
The one thing about it, though, you got to bunt him. You got to get somebody in scoring position. So they're going to go ahead and put him on as Perez. Now we'll stick out there. This is the 14th intentional walk for the man.
I'm surprised it's only 14.
Me too.
Because,
Me too.
Because Viciedo's next. He's got 3. But there are some teams that have figured, well, I'll pitch to him. Maybe he won't beat me. Those are the teams that usually wind up losing the game.
Well, I would say it's been about 50-50. This 14th for our guy. Miguel Cabrera has 10 intentional walks.
Big difference. That guy behind Miguel, he can really do it.
You better believe it.
Victor Martinez, that's a tough choice.
Well, you might say you're surprised that Miguel has 10.
Yeah.
All right.
He's 0-1. His ERA 3.04 on for the 29th time. Has given up 3 home runs. Doesn't walk many people. And you got a couple of choices with him. Hit the first fastball he throws before he gets to that sweeping slider, which is so tough. Or you can hope that that sweeping slider hangs inside to you if you're a right-hand hitter. Let's see if one or the other characterizes the Garcia at bat.
Two on, one out. Ivy's due. He's 0 for 4. A strikeout, a grounder to third, a grounder to short, and a fly out deep to right field. He just missed that one. Takes that one. Little high neck in. Big rip just underneath it. That game in Detroit still, after 3, delayed by that front that's going about getting ready to hit us. Tigers trailing the Giants 6-0. Kansas City shuts out the Yankees 1-0 in the Bronx, and guess who? Big game James.
Not surprising. That's what they got him for.
Big pitch right there. And advantage goes to Avi. And it counts 3-1. So now catbird seat.
Easily been called ball 4. Take another look. He has yet to throw him a slider, which is somewhat surprising.
There it was. And he just fouls it off. So good speed at second. Where you at first? One out. And there he hit him on the fist and he fights it off. That one at 92.
Too close to take. It was off the plate, but with 2 strikes, you got to go after it. Tried keeping everything low and away. He got one pitch he could drive, swung through it. And now being selective is the key.
And there's ball 4. So that'll load him up.
That is the first non-intentional walk that our Sox lineup has taken.
And here's Tank. Tank 1 for 4 with that base hit back in the 4th inning. Tank is also lined out hard to center, grounded to short, and struck out.
Sacks packed with Sox.
Checks it up, and he takes ball one.
Time now for AT&T Uverse Multiview.
Hey, you got a cookie right there. Couldn't do anything with it.
You got a slider. It's not a sharp breaker. And that was very hittable. Take another look at it. This is one you'd like. Fouled it straight back.
Made a good pitch on it. Now Tank in the hole, 1-2. Went after that ball nicely. Nice approach to that pitch.
Sacks packed. Big spot.
2-2, 1 out.
Hit him on the fist, popped him up. And a big out. 2 down. So it's up to Marcus. Marcus 1 for 4 tonight.
That pitch at 94 from CC. Marcus has 18 RBIs this year. 12 of them have come from the 7th inning or later.
And amazingly enough, 12 runs batted in with 2 outs. We're still a very young hitter. Took that one not down the middle, but certainly on the outer third.
Oh, and 2.
He doesn't have a wild pitch this year.
Ground ball. Kipnis.
We got a chance. We had a chance.
And blew it. making his warm-up tosses as you check out our tail of the tape here in the bottom of the 10th. 1-9-1 for us, 1-5-0 for them. Chris Sale went 6 innings, giving up the 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. TJ House went 7 for them, giving up the 1 run, 7 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And our relievers have retired the last 11 in a row.
Well, Michael's on for just Yan Gomes. It was a very powerful home run hitter. And then with Bourne and Chisenhall and Kipnis coming up, it's going to be Eric Surkamp who's loosening in the pen.
Gomes 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes that one at 96 right there. Michael Taylor giving chase and makes a catch. No, he doesn't. It bounces off the wall. So here's Gomes. He's going to go into third. Look for a second like Taylor had it. It may have hit his glove and then bounced off the wall. So the leadoff triple.
Was a big effort by Michael Taylor. Gomes gets a hanging slider and almost takes it out of the ballpark. We told you about the power. He comes up short. However, Taylor goes up, bangs into the wall, and a little faster catcher has an inside the park home run. That being said, Robin's choice on Bourne, and then Chisenhall and Kipnis. 3 left-handers coming up. And the outfield and the infield are going to have to play as shallow as they can get. So Chris Dickerson comes on a pinch run, carrying with him the winning run. Bourne is going to be walked. You'd also think that Chisenhall was going to be walked.
So Gomes now with his second triple. This guy has been some for him. 17 homers, 2 triples, 24 doubles. Very productive offensive catcher and a good catcher.
Surkamp is going to come in the ball game with runners at first and third, nobody out. That will most likely mean that they're going to face Chisenhall. So as Cueto walks out, Eric Surkamp comes in with the game on the line, and we'll be back after these messages. 646 on for the 25th time. Under first, doesn't matter. Chris Dickerson at third is the winning run. And Lonnie Chisenhall, who hits left-handers pretty well, is coming to bat.
Take another look at the ball hit by Yan Gomes. Watch great effort here by Michael Taylor. Now watch when he jumps. If you lose sight of the ball right here for a second, which we did, that means it went over his glove to hit the wall. Because if you lose sight of it, one of two things happen. He either caught it or it went over his glove. Good effort by Michael.
And a good job of getting to the baseball, because that could have easily been an inside the park home run.
So here we go. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
So it'll be up to Jason Kipnis, who came in the game in the 8th inning. Grounded right back to Javi Guerra.
Well, Robin rolling the dice right here. Kipnis.
Well, this is
not been swinging the bat the way he can at all.
But this is manager's choice as far as how you use the intentional walk. If you have no intention of facing Kipnis, a lot of guys will go with the right-hander walking it. Not bring in the left-hander to throw 4 wide ones. Now you're facing Kipnis, which you would have done anyway. So we'll see if Eric can get out of it. Infield in, outfield in.
First pitch always huge in this scenario. And he misses one. Kipnis at 245 with 6 homers, just 41 knocked down. Had that bad oblique. And he, for the most part, is the heart and soul of this ball club. Made a good pitch right there, just on the outside edge of the outside corner. Ball almost hit him. Hard to make yourself take a shin burger for it.
It's tough. Your natural instinct, get out of the way. And then you think about it, and you saw the breaking ball, and he probably Kipnis is going, oh, okay, my mistake.
Three and one. This is the absolute blue plate special right here for a hit. Infield in, outfield in. 1 out, Sox Pack. Well, check that. No out, Sox Pack. And then 3-1 count.
He swung at ball 4.
Thank you.
That one was way out of the zone.
Wow.
That's a game ender if he just keeps a bat on his shoulder. Watch where this one pops up.
And too much time. All right, Eric. Do it right here, buddy. Make a good pitch. Big strikeout. Kipnis got himself out right there.
After ball 4 was swung at, this one had the zone, and Kipnis goes down on strikes. So that'll be it for Surkamp. And Ronald Belisario will walk into this one. The base is still loaded on for the 56th time. He's 4-8, ERA 5.72. There you look at the numbers, and he's not going to face Perez. He's going to face a pretty tough left-hand hitter who was just activated today. So Murphy steps up. He had a brief rehab after spending a lot of time on the DL.
Big hack, no contact, and the count, 0-1.
Murphy 3 for 6 as a pinch hitter this year. But again, he's been disabled a while.
Hitting at .262, 7 homers, 55 on the season. Good pickup for this ball club, hitting a team high .383 with runners in scoring position.
Outfield very shallow. Infield looking for 2 if it's hit to the middle.
Foul back in the count, 1-2. There it is. Sacks packed with tribesmen.
Only man that counts it, man at third. Next, Sarbaugh had conversation with Dickerson. If anything winds up in the dirt.
And that's just foul. $15,531. What was very disappointing was last night they're playing the Tigers. They had less than 12,000.
Lowest drawing team in the major leagues are these Indians.
With a pretty solid ball club. Ball hit hard, but meanwhile, hang loose. Souvenir. So the man leading this team with runners in scoring position, David Murphy, comes through for him after being activated today. And a tough loss for our Sox. We had our chances and just couldn't do anything with it, Steve.
No, Murphy's a very good hitter, and they got him in situations like this to face the right-handed pitchers. So he comes back from the minor leagues, off the disabled list, and delivers a game-winning hit. It was a rocket. Thought Adam had a shot at it. If he did, it would have been tough to throw out Dickerson. Sinking line drive. He's in very shallow. Can't make the play, and that's that.
All right. Our GMC player of the game indeed is David Murphy, our GMC professional grade player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angier, our producer John Walgren, our associate producer Chris Kamka, our technical manager Mark Harper, for the mayor me Joe Grube, and also the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. And up here in the booth, Mike Bixenstein, Dave Hammond, Chris O'Connell, Tom McGinnis. Down in sound, this is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.